We're back. We're back, Patel. We're back. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show in the world. Ladies, I wish all of you is a happy Earth Day. You know, we need to take Earth, even though the world's upside down, but we need to take care of Earth. I want to wish all of you a happy Earth Day today, Maybe some of you know about Earth, maybe some of you don't know about Earth, but, I want to wish you a happy Earth Day to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about a subject that you guys need to know. A lot of these Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channels, they've been for years, been talking to you negative things about Hublot watches. That's right, Hublot. But I never did that. I never talked negative about Hublot watches. I think they're unbelievable watches and a great price point as well. But you got this channel like Deputy Boxing Black Eyes. Deputy Boxing Black Eyes. Thank you very much, Patel, for that super chat. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. You got that Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, and now suddenly he's becoming now a talk ambassador for Hublot. Now he's talking all things about Hublot watches, since they have this new chief executive officer now working for Hublot. We're talking about Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, better known as Deputy Droopy Butthole Eyes, And, he had his sidekick, the sidekick that he dealt with always. We're talking about the walrus fat bastard, making fun of Hublot watches. And now these gentlemen are taken to the streets to promote that Hublot are unbelievable watches. And the reason that they're doing that, ladies and gentlemen, you should know all about this, is because there is no more watches out there they can promote to make money. So now they have to start flim-flamming you, and spoofing you, and seeing you as a bunch of, possum kickers, They're going to turn you now into that Hublot watches are the watches to buy. But 4 years ago, when the Corona era was around, I don't know, 3 years ago when it was around, the only watches these people were pushing on you were APs, Richard Milles, Patek's and Rolex. And now suddenly the tables have turned, and now they're promoting Hublot watches to flim-flam you, to fleece you. Now they're talking about that this new CFO, CEO, whatever you want to call it, from Hublot, is making watches with better movements and all this hoopla, But it's all to get you taken, to get you into your 401k, to get your children's tuition money. That Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, he's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. He needs to look for a way to continue flim-flamming you out of your children's tuition money. And now he is promoting, like I'm telling you, they're promoting it desperately. The Hublot watches are great. And I'm telling you, they would all get together, they would all get together. The walrus fat bastard, trucking sweat stain hat, with jumbo whiteout ears, small feet, small hands, 5 feet 1 inch, you know what I'm talking about. And Deputy's Boxing Black Eyes sidekick, Jiminy Cricket, the Chia Pet spray kind of hair. Now they're talking about the Hublot's the watch to buy. I'm here to tell you, don't become lollipop suckers, don't become window lickers, and let these flim-flammers get into your children's tuition money. This is the watch they're going to be attacking you now with. Hublot, the watch they used to, laugh. They will laugh with this watch. They wouldn't want to promote this watch for nothing in the world. But they don't have no more watches they can flim-flam me with, so they have to talk about Hublot now. Things are turning around, and this is what they're doing to you to get into your children's tuition money. Stop being window lickers, Stop being mesmerized by these cockroaches and monkeys These guys are a bunch of cockroaches and monkeys, and they're desperate. And this is the watch they're pushing now. They're going to be pushing the Hublot, Big Bang, Hublot this, Hublot that. Now Hublot has a new, like I said again, a new, a new manager, new manager, and he's going to be using new movements. It's all BS, but this is what Deputy Droopy Eyes is saying, that he was always a fan of Hublot watches when we know this guy is a cockroach, that Deputy Boxing Black Eyes telling us now that Hublot's the watch to buy. That's right, because he ain't got no more outs, and he's desperate, Sales are down, people are smart, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest, smart money, and please repeat after me, smart money is staying away from luxury goods, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, I know what I'm telling you. Smart money is staying away from luxury goods. The game is rigged. The game is rigged, ladies and gentlemen. Get it through your head. Get it through your head. The game is rigged. I know what I'm telling you. And these people are desperate. These people are looking for different outs. Even the Warris fat bastard, it's already starting to promote Hublot watches. You know who the Warris fat bastard is? The Warris fat bastard, the one that sells, all kind of raffles, sweepstakes, and all that good stuff. He's even now talking about the Hublot's a good watch, that the Big Bang is a good watch, because nobody's buying no more Richard Mille watches. Nobody's buying no more Richard Mille watches. And for the price point you're getting in a Hublot, I mean, if you lose money, it's not really hurtful. But when you lose money in a Richard Mille, you're going to get skid marks on your white Hanes underwears. Or should I say Fruit of the Loom? Maybe the Fruit of the Loom underwear you wear. You get skid marks. So I thought I should tell you, because this is what they're doing to you now. They're attacking you with the new brand, the brand that they will all laugh at, they will make fun of. Now, suddenly, Hublot is the watch to buy, ladies and gentlemen. You guys, I'm not going to let these people flim-flam you that easy. I'm not. I won't let them do that to you guys. I have always said that Hublot was a good watch. I have always said it, I mean, there's watches out there, Hublot, that they're beautiful and the price points are great. I'm not promoting Hublot, and I'm not telling you about Hublot. I'm just telling you what that Deputy Boxing Black Eyes is doing now, He's sending out subliminal message, signal, subliminal messages to you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, la situación está jodida. There's no money out there, ladies and gentlemen. I got to keep on, even though I'm in vacation, I got to continue telling you things, what's happening, so you don't get caught in the current, the current, the current, the water current, and they get you, they fleece you. I won't let that happen, ladies and gentlemen. La situación está muy mala. Things are bad out there, ladies and gentlemen. Things are really bad. I know what I'm telling you. I know what I'm telling you. Sweet Kid Kino sent me another telegraph, and he was telling me, hey, cuz, the situation is bad out there. People are not buying watches. Smart money is staying away from luxury goods. You guys gotta be smart, guys. You guys gotta be smart. I know what I'm telling you. For too many years, they were giving you the logo. And if you don't know what the logo is, you Google it, because I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what the logo is. But for too many years, you were laid down Sallies. All of you were laid down Sallies, You were laying down to their commands. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and I've been promoting this for the last 2 years and a half. It's incredible the way we send telegraphs. Come on, you know how that is. It's unbelievable. Este es el moderno, el tiempo moderno, modern times. It's unbelievable. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you got to stop being crumb bums. You cannot be obedient. You guys are obedient. You know that guy Jim Jones. He had all those people who were obedient. And Jim Jones had them all drinking Kool-Aid. And you guys are drinking all the Kool-Aid. And I'm trying to save you, from stop drinking that Kool-Aid they're giving you out there. La situación está jodida, papi. No hay dinero por la calle. Yo sé lo que te estoy hablando. I know what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. All this information, I get it from no other than Sweet Kid Kino. When he sends me a telegraph, via fax, it's unbelievable. Kino's still working, in the 90s, with those machines that he has. And he sends me all this information. And he's telling me, cuz, you gotta let our audience know that smart money is staying away from luxury goods. Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta be smart, papi. No podemos seguir de gilipollas. There's no money out there. No hay chavo, papi. No hay plata, no hay pasta. No hay chelito. La situación está jodida, papi. You guys cannot continue maintaining these flim-flammers lifestyle. I know you like to give your money away to them so you can see them driving around their red gold fast car, with their Louis Vuitton Nike sneakers, their ripped jeans, their Montclair sweaters, their Supreme hoodies. I know you guys like that. But instead of giving it to them, give it to the children, the UNICEF, the shelters, animal shelters, not to these flim-flammers. These people are a bunch of cockroaches. They're a bunch of cockroaches. And they know that you guys are slaves to them. They know that you guys are obedient slaves. I don't know what to do with you guys. I take time out of my vacation. Today I saw a rhinoceros. Unbelievable. And I saw a hungry hippo. A hungry hippo. Not the hungry hippo, Mr. Magoo. I saw a hungry hippo today. And it was unbelievable. But I'm taking time out of my time, to stop you guys from giving away your 401k. Your 401k today is valued at 201k. You understand me? And you guys continue giving away your children's, your children's tuition money away. Their book fair money. I mean, you guys gotta stop that. You cannot continue drinking Jim Jones Kool-Aid. You know who is Jim Jones? Jim Jones es una gonorrea, es una rata. Es una rata. And he took down with him, I don't know how many people he took down with him because they drank the Kool-Aid. And this is the way they got you guys. Listening to them. You got the other chump. The other chump, who the chump is? The guy with the toupee hair, the toupee wig man, pointy shoes, yellow pants, green belt, flower shirt, you understand me? A $500,000 red Ferrari, you believe what he tells you. You believe that spoof ball, with the toupee. Toupee, he's like 80 years old. You got to stop believing these people. You got to stop believing the other gentlemen from Feet Happy, from Beverly Hills. Two brothers. One is smart, one is dumber, one is taller, one is shorter. One is introverted, doesn't even talk. The other one talks like a parrot. You understand me? And what do me and Sweet Kino get? We get the short end of the stick. We bring you knowledge only. We make you smart. We make you smart. When you come to this channel, we make you smart. One thing is for sure. One thing for sure is that you're gonna come out smart when you look at this channel. Because Sweet Kid Kino is the brains. Kino's the brains behind this channel. Thank you, Wicked. And I'm the voice. I'm the voice of this channel, ladies and gentlemen. So I left my wife. She's taking a massage. She's doing a massage. And I told my wife, I wait for you. I'm gonna go live, with a podcast, with my organic watch channel subscribers and let them know what's going on. The new thing they have for you guys set up is they're gonna push Hublet watches on you. Listen and learn. Listen and learn. They are going to start pushing Hublot watches on you guys. Y ustedes son unas locas. Hublot's the watch to get now. Because I heard it from Deputy Boxing Black Eyes. Because I heard it from the Warriors Fat Bastard. No, you heard it from me. From Juan Felipe Nieves. You know, from Opusntime Watches. The #1 channel in the world. We have been chosen as the #1 channel by no other than Fudinki. And if you don't know who Fudinki is, you Google it. We've been chosen as the #1 channel out there, ladies and gentlemen. I know what I'm trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to attack you with Hublot watches. I'm going to give you now a watch market update because you guys are still, you guys are still in La La Land. But that's right. They watch my channel. Listen to what Wicked says. Fudinki watches our channel. And, who knows? Pretty soon we're going to be picked up by Netflix. Unbelievable, that Netflix. Ladies and gentlemen, seriously, you still have a chance to make a couple of coins. You still have a chance to make a couple of coins with gold. Gold right now is unbelievable, I mean, you guys have a good chance of making some coins, so you can take your family in a vacation trip. Gold is the place to be at. I know you still think that it's watches, pero papi, no sean pendejos. Ya el negocio de los relojes está muerto. The watch business is dead. No matter what they keep on telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the watch business is dead. You need to buy gold, beautiful gold, unbelievable gold. Stop listening to these people now that are promoting Hublot watches. That's right. That's what they are. A bunch of window lickers out there. Look into oro, papá, oro. Sólido, 24 quilates, 22 carat, 18 carat, 14 carat, 10 carat. I know what I'm telling you. The watch business is upside down. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something else. And in a serious note, I have been told personally that we have single-handedly disrupted and rattled the secondary gray watch market. That we have a lot to do with it. I don't know if it's true or not. If you feel that it's true, show me a thumb. Show me a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. But listen to me, you must look into gold. You must look into gold. This thing is gonna hit $5,000 an ounce. The world is upside down. The truth is coming out, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see it? Don't you see it already? It's coming out. The elites of the world are the ones that can sign you a check and they can finish you off. The way they're finishing up Pretty Boy Floyd, Pretty Floyd Boy, whatever his name is, that boxer. They're finishing him up, Papi. They're finishing him off. I'm not gonna tell you what the ending results are with that boxer are, because I don't want to scare you people. But you cannot play with the elites of the world. They're the ones that sign every check you get. You must be saying, but how? My Johnny's the one that signs it for me. The elites of the world are the one that control everything. I know it's hard for you to understand that. And as time will go by, I would explain to you more and more about that, because esto es mucho poder para la cabeza de ustedes. This is too much for your brain cells. I was taught this. I was taught all this in a very, very young age. I was taught, the people taught me this, my father's friend, they taught me this, the way the world is ruled, the way it's run. Pero nada, vamos a dejarlo así because I don't want to scare you people. I don't want to, spook you. know what spook is? If you don't know what spook is, you Google it. But anyway, I told you all this information. I tell you all this because I'm stupid like that, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody else is giving you this knowledge that I'm giving you. I'm giving you knowledge, weeks and weeks ahead of time. Weeks and weeks. The boxer, Hublet, Gold. But now you guys like to listen to Deputy Boxing Black Eyes and his sidekick, his sidekick, Jiminy Cricket, with the Chia Pet spray can hair. That's what you want to hear. But that's fine. We drop all the knowledge, and what do we get in return? The short end of the stick. And that's fine. We can't do nothing about it. Lo jodimos. Por gilipollas. Anyway, guys, I'm going to give you a watch market update because this is what you guys want. I'm going to give it to you, because I'm stupid like that. The first watch, ladies and gentlemen, is a Chiron Constantine Overseas stainless steel 43 millimeter, the 7700 world timer. Blue dial. It's an unbelievable watch. This is disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. This is under retail price. And I'm going to tell you this because you guys should know about this. Don't pay for that Vacheron Constantine Overseas. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch more than $18,500 in copy. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is a Patek Philippe Nautilus annual calendar 5726. Leather strap. With a 40.5 millimeter casing. Stainless steel, ladies and gentlemen. This watch was disgusting. At one moment, it was all the way up. Like the song, all the way up. It was all the way up, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to tell you today, ladies and gentlemen, you do yourself a favor. And you tell all your, all those flim-flammers, dealers, out there, that Mr. Nieves told you to pay no more than $68,000 and drop it. You do whatever you want. It's your money, and you do whatever you want. I'm just here to tell you what we believe. What Sweet Kino and I believe, you should pay for that Patek Philippe 5726 with a leather strap stainless steel. Unbelievable time machine, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about used. We're talking about used slider condition material watches in this channel. Used. You do whatever you want, but it's used. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about your favorite watch brand. The Rolex yellow gold with a Jubilee bracelet. Fully yellow gold. 40 millimeter. Reference number 126718. GRNR. Unbelievable, Black and gray ceramic bezel. Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this. Smart money is staying away from luxury goods. Smart money is staying away from luxury goods. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay. Don't pay for that Rolex yellow gold GMT with a Jubilee bracelet, black dial, black and gray ceramic bezel. Don't pay. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. You got to stop being window lickers. You got to stop being buffaloes. You got to stop being crayon eaters, crumb bumps, Palmolive dish lickers. Understand me? Cow tippers, possum kickers. Don't pay for that watch more than $36,500 in copy. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a watch that is unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and it's embarrassing where this watch is heading to. We're talking about the Patek Philippe Nautilus stainless steel 5990 with a gray dial. Unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable watch. Like I told you, ladies and gentlemen, I told you, a couple of last week, that a lot of these luxury watch parts come from China. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you again, a lot of these luxury watches, they bring a little spring, a little spring. They bring it from China. China's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what these cockroaches tell you out there, because they're all mad. They're all mad when they see my video that I say that the Chinese people, sell a lot of these parts to all these luxury watches. They get mad. But I'm telling you, they do. And we're talking about a Patek Philippe Nautilus 5990 with a gray dial. Unbelievable looking time machine. The travel time, ladies and gentlemen. This watch at one moment in that Corona era, I mean, you had to come up with $160,000 to get this watch. Es un bochorno, it's an embarrassment, but you had to come up with $160,000 for this watch. And you're buying a watch that has China parts in it. Don't ask me how I know. I know. You know how I know? Sweet Kikino. So the brains of this channel. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that Patek 5990 gray dial. I mean, you do whatever you want. We're talking about used, slighter condition material watch, and also full set. Full set. You want a full set. Don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch more than $86,000 in topping. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel. Unbelievable. Rolex stainless steel with yellow gold. They call this the Zombie, Jubilee bracelet, 40 millimeter, This is the stepbrother from the other Rolex GMT Jubilee bracelet, yellow gold, This one is two-tone. Yellow gold with stainless steel. Unbelievable, this watch. 40 millimeter. Reference number 126713 GRNR. 40 millimeter, Black and gray ceramic bezel. Unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that Rolex stainless steel yellow gold GMT Jubilee bracelet. Stainless steel and gold. Don't pay more than $17,000 in top. You do whatever you want. It's your money. You do whatever you want. I'm here to give it to you. I give it to you for free. I give it to you for free because I'm stupid like that. I mean, I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm stupid like that. I like to be stupid, Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Patek Philippe Aquanaut. The Aquanaut, unbelievable. 5167, stainless steel. Unbelievable, with a rubber strap. The watch you guys like. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm stupid like that, don't pay for that 5167 Aquanaut with a rubber strap. I mean, you do whatever you want. If you still want to continue what these people are putting, in your head, with subliminal messages, MK Ultra, you understand me? You understand me? If you want to keep on believing them, that's up to you. But don't pay for that 5167 more than $61,000 in dropping. You do whatever you want. I'm grossed out. I'm grossed out. You should. You should try buying from there. You should do that. Knock yourself out and do that, Papa. People still having a hard time. And let me tell you something. Since I made my video from China, everybody's even using my catchphrases and everything. I don't know. These people are unbelievable. I don't know what they see in me, but they wanna use my catchphrases because I don't have that intelligence. The one that has the intelligence is Sweet Kikino. It's not me. I'm gonna be honest. I learned everything from Sweet Kikino. He's the brains behind this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, with all due respect, I have another watch here that's gonna knock your socks off and blow your hair back. It's the Rolex. Rolex rose gold with stainless steel. GMT, the root beer. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. This watch in my time, a two-tone watch, was a dog with fleas. That's right, a dog with fleas. I mean, you will never catch me wearing a two-tone watch. You will never catch me, until I got caught on and I bought a Sky Dweller, a champagne dials, two-tone Sky Dweller de, oye, estaba feo con cojones. Feo. Oye. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you what I said in Spanish. I'm not going to tell you. Unbelievable. I'm going to tell you. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a Rolex GMT root beer, stainless steel rose gold. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have to give you no reference number because you know what the root beer is. You guys were going crazy for the root beer, you know? You guys were going bananas, but I am gonna tell you, don't pay for this used slider condition material watch. Don't pay more. I mean, you do whatever you want. Exactly. You said it. You said it, Wicked. I didn't say it. That's right. This man likes the root beer, and that's nice. And I'm happy you like it. But I'm gonna tell you, since you like it and you probably want one of them, I'm gonna tell you, don't pay for that root beer Rolex two-tone rose gold stainless steel. Don't pay. Mr. Donald just said $16,000, and I'm gonna tell you quickly, so there won't be no funny business here. Don't pay for that watch more than $15,400 and drop it. You do whatever you want. He's dead. He's dead. Nobody's ever gonna tell you what I'm telling you. And you know why? Because I'm stupid just like that. I'm stupid. The secondary gray watch market, they ask, what did this guy get for telling these people all these things? What does he get in return? I get nothing. But I don't care because I'm stupid just like that. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another one for you. Another one. That's right. I get a logo. I get a logo. I get a logo is what I get. But I'm going to talk to you about a watch, ladies and gentlemen, that I remember this watch. You know, right at the beginning of the Corona beer era. Right in the Corona beer era, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Rolex stainless steel Sky Dweller. You know, whippity, no big deal. A Rolex stainless steel Sky Dweller with an oyster bracelet. You know what it had, ladies and gentlemen? You know what made it so famous, this watch? It had a blue dial, you know? And what else did it have? It has the most, I don't know if you guys know this, you know? I don't know if you guys know this, but the most complicated watch, on a serious note, the most complicated watch that Rolex produces is the Sky Dweller. It really is. So, it had a blue dial, and it had the most complicated, and it has the most complicated movement there is. But it had a blue dial, and this watch went all the way up. This is no lie. This watch, I don't have Kino today to give me signs, you know, like the baseball players, they use signs. I don't have him here today, so I have to think quickly. But if Kino will be here, he will tell me something like it was somewhere at $35,000. This is a $15,600 watch. This Rolex stainless steel oyster bracelet blue dial, you know, $15,600, and it went all the way up to $35,000. And ladies and gentlemen, things are getting so sad out there in the gray watch market, you know, from these cockroaches, these monkeys, estas gonorreas. You know what a gonorrea is? If you don't know what a gonorrea is, you Google it. But I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you, you do whatever you want. It's your money, and you do whatever you want with it, and you spend it as you please. If you want to continue buying, you know, if you want to continue buying raffle tickets, you know, from those flim flammers, that's up to you. You know, you can continue buying all those, you know, tickets from them, you know, raffle tickets. You can keep on doing that. That's fine. Me and Sweet Kikino will continue to save you guys. We'll continue to get the short end of the stick. You know? But we're going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for that Rolex stainless steel Sky Dweller blue dial oyster bracelet. Don't pay more than $17,600 and drop it. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. It's the way it is. Look, I'm taking time out of my precious vacation, you know, with my wife. My wife loves me, and I love my wife. And she's getting a massage, and I told her I wait for you, and I'm going to make a podcast for my organic subscribers, you know, and I'm happy. I'm really happy. You know, I'm happy. What do we get? You know what we get. Our next watch is a Richard Mille. Unbelievable, that Richard Mille. It is dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. If you are a Richard Mille fan, let me just talk to you about a Richard Mille. We're talking about the Richard Mille, the RM055. You know, Bubba Watson. Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch at one moment was over. Man, Kino's not here to give me signs, but it was over $600,000. Unbelievable. Fully white ceramic. You know, with a strap and the casing, the ceramic. Unbelievable watch. Unbelievable. Exactly, Mr. Donald. That's what it is. But anyway, I'm gonna have to give you this because, you know, we have a lot of recovering tomato cans watching our channel. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but that we have many organic watch channel subscribers that they are recovering tomato cans, and we're happy to have them here. Unbelievable. The RM055 white ceramic Bubba Watson. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and don't pay for that watch more than $235,000, and it is dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. The watch market is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Watch market, get it through your head. Get it through your head. The watch market is dead. Listen and learn. Listen and learn, ladies and gentlemen. Our next watch is an unbelievable watch, and I remember this watch. You know, 3 years ago, it was, man, in the secondary gray watch market, they were asking for this watch and laughing in your face. Laughing in your face. And they didn't care because they know they were going to sell it. Literally, they were going to sell it in 5 minutes. They were asking for this chrono $80,000. We're talking about the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak stainless steel 41 millimeter. Blue dial, chrono 26320. You know? 26320. Ladies and gentlemen, I always got to give it to you the way it is. I got to give it to you the way it is. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do yourself a favor and protect your children's tuition money and protect your 401k. I'm telling you this. And this watch is still dropping. But I have to give you what's happening right now. Don't pay for that AP Royal stainless steel 41 millimeter, reference number 26320, chrono, blue dial. Don't pay more than $34,500 in drop. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. This is my watch market update for you guys, you know? You know, I do my end of the bargain. I'm here to do it, you know? I'm going to tell you before I sign off, like Mr. Walter Cronkite was saying, you know, before I sign off, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to look into gold. Don't forget to look into gold, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Okay? Don't forget. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video. You know, don't forget that. Don't forget to subscribe, you know, and like our video. And ladies and gentlemen, like me, I mean, Sweet Kid Kino's not with me, you know, he's not with me. But I just want to tell all of you, take care and brush your hair.